Today's video from ZenGig, I'm going to do that over in case it didn't record.
You want to say welcome back?
Yeah, okay, ready?
Yep.
Welcome back, everyone. Today's video from ZenGig is all about high income skills for 2024. What do you need to know to make a lot of money? Peter, we wrote a recent blog about this, but we thought it made sense to cover them quickly here. Of course, you can go to our blog for more details on how to develop these, but I think it's really important for those who are trying to figure out what to do with their career, not exactly sure what they want to do professionally, to know what are the jobs and what are the skills that really look good for the future and today for earning a decent income.
Yep. So, when we talk about high income skills, like what do we mean by that? These are things that are either technically specialized or there is a specific skill that's going to add a lot of value to a business. These are skills that are transferable across a lot of different industries. Doesn't mean you can work in this area, you can work in this area. These are things that no matter where you go, if you have these specific skills, you're going to be able to find a job that more likely than not is going to pay you really well.
Yeah, so. and it's all about supply and demand. And that is something that a lot of people deep in their career, but certainly young people don't necessarily know. The higher the demand, the less the supply, the more income is typically associated with the job and the role. I always use a sports analogy with this because it just rings so true. If you are 7 feet tall and can run fast, jump high, and dunk a basketball and shoot 3-pointers easily, you are going to be marketable as a basketball player. Why? Because very few people fit into that category. Yep. Very few people are 7 feet tall. Very few people have those kind of skills. And so very small supply, the demand is always going to be there. And of course, if you're 7 feet tall and super athletic, you're probably going to make a lot of money as a basketball player.
Yeah. So, first on this list, data analysis. We live in a data-driven world. It should be no surprise to anyone watching this video that companies use data to make decisions, especially in the digital age. Everything is online, everything is measured, your data is everywhere. So having the skills needed to take those raw numbers, those raw figures, raw data, and just actually make sense of it for a company is extremely valuable. That is something that, whether it's healthcare or retail or finance or IT, whatever, those companies need to be able to utilize their data to actually make decisions.
Yeah, you said the key word, right? Making decisions, and data has become the most important thing in that regard. And so if you know how to provide analysis, that you are extremely valuable to a prospective employer. So great one to start with for sure. The next one as a complement to that is software development. If you know how to write code, if you know how to develop apps, if you can help companies increase their technology abilities and presence with software, you are going to be in high demand.
Yeah, this is a really popular one on a lot of these lists. If you look out on the internet, software development is kind of a catch-all term for any application that is being developed, whether that's mobile, whether that's enterprise level internal company applications, consumer-facing ones. They're all being created by software developers. It's a really nice one too, because while it's easier said than done, obviously, to learn these technical skills, there is a million tools out there. Like if you have the drive and the desire, you can find how to learn how to program in any language, how to do any kind of application just by watching YouTube videos, by going on a lot of these online courses. There's a lot of tools out there for you to learn these skills if that's something that you're interested in.
And I'm glad you made that point, because some of the things on this list, that being one, are skills that you could learn on your own. You don't have to have a specific degree. We've been in the recruiting industry and staffing industry for a long time, and we can say firsthand, the largest employers, the smallest employers care a whole lot less about the specific degree you have than the skills that you can bring to their organization. And to Peter's point, you can learn these on your own. No question about it if you're motivated. Similar to the next one, digital marketing.
Yeah, digital marketing. Sorry to cut you off. This is one I really like. I mean, SEO, search engine optimization, pay-per-click. These are terms you'll hear in this industry. it is becoming huge as we move away from just purely Google searches. Now you've got things like YouTube, you've got things like TikTok, social media. These are areas that are like unexplored. Companies are learning where the consumers are, where you are, the people who are watching this, and they're trying to relate that to how a company markets. It's a crazy whole new developing industry. So that's an area where you can really make a name for yourself just by learning stuff online.
Digital marketing is exploding. Just
Yeah.
look on your social media channels that you spend time on and think of the brands that you want to learn more about or that you're a fan of, and look at their presence on the social channels. It's probably not great. They're slow to the table.
Yeah.
Smaller companies, it's why influencers have become so big, because they're nimble and quick. Big companies are trying to figure out how to master the social media world, and they have a long way to go. So developing those skills, again, you can do a lot of that on your own. You don't have to have a specific degree. You can experiment and explore and learn on your own through your own projects, through learning on YouTube. There's a million different avenues to learn digital marketing skills, and lots of different niches within it, right? So it doesn't mean one thing. It's lots of different roles, from design, Peter mentioned SEO, even having mastery and expertise in YouTube versus TikTok versus Instagram. So marketable, so much in demand, and we're just getting started in that space.
Absolutely. So the next skill, project management. That's a little bit more of a catch-all term. A lot of industries have project management. If you're the kind of person who loves organizing and loves, planning out projects before they happen, this might be for you. This is an area that kind of translates across. IT has project managers, construction has project managers, marketing has project managers. Every industry works on projects. Anything that is temporary, that needs to be done, needs somebody to kind of pull it together and be the point person, the point who leads it. It's an area where you can really shine if this is something that you like doing.
And keep in mind, a lot of these skills like project management and software development are universally applicable. So you don't have to be a project manager per se professionally, but if you develop project manager skills in whatever role you're in, you are going to be highly sought after. So keep that in mind as we're listing these out. It's not about the specific job title as it is about the skill that you bring to the table. So
Yeah.
Peter, what's next?
Next, we got sales and business development. A little bit more on the soft side, but actually, I would argue that this can be more difficult than just learning a simple technical skill. Trust us, we're in recruiting. People and companies are always looking for good salespeople. If you are good at selling and you are good at talking to people and you are good at building those relationships, and you have the sales skills, you will never have trouble finding a job, and you will always be able to make a living.
This one's near and dear to my heart. I was a career salesperson for many years, and I can tell you that when I talk to other business owners, everyone has the same story. They're desperate for good salespeople, business development people. It is one of the hardest things to find as an employer, someone who can go out and drive new business. So if you're willing, it takes practice, it takes trial and error. It's not easy, but you will always be marketable. You will always be in demand if you know how to sell. And that, again, translates across every industry and company type.
Yeah, unless your company has a monopoly or is the best in the only, every company is going to have competitors. Every company needs people to drive their sales forward. So the people who are the best at that, they're going to make a lot of money, and they're always going to be in demand.
Always. So the next one, cybersecurity. Now, we talked about data analysis earlier, and how data has become so important to businesses of all sizes and types. Well, someone has to keep that data protected and safe, and that's why cybersecurity is such a marketable skill right now. And the compensation, like everything else on this list, can be really high for it.
Yeah, and cybersecurity is a cool one because you'll see a lot of people recommending, oh, cybersecurity is great, cybersecurity is hot. It's a cool skill that you can kind of stack on some of the other ones. Like I know a lot of personal friends who are in cybersecurity. They started out as software developers, or on, as a network administrator. So this is a one where if you've got skills in maybe another IT field, or you've played around with it, you've built that foundational learning, like this works really well to kind of supplement that. And it's a really, the growth in this industry is going to be huge because unfortunately the world is becoming more and more complex and therefore more exposed to cybersecurity attacks.
And cloud computing, which is the next one on the list, that certainly is lending to a lot of that, which you just said, right? When your data is in the cloud, when it's not secure and safe in your own office and locked behind a door, cloud computing, certainly at risk of cyber attacks. But that is its own skill that has become so in demand because technology has allowed for so many changes. So I'm old. When I started off in the technology world, my clients had big rooms with servers and lots of racks. If you can picture them with big pieces of technology, expensive equipment. It's not how it works anymore. You don't have to have that stuff on site. It's in the cloud, just like you probably store your pictures or your emails now. And so that skill is not going away. It's only going to increase in demand.
Yeah, as our phones get smaller and our technology becomes faster and faster, that computing power has got to come from somewhere. So cloud computing is just your stuff on someone else's computer. As the industry expands, as the world expands, we are going to see that is going to be pretty much the only way that a lot of these applications function. I mean, we're already there. So that's an area where if you can get into that and you can, kind of get those skills, you're going to always have a job.
Yeah, a good job, right? That pays a lot. That's what we're talking about here. And so the last one, to no one's surprise, artificial intelligence and machine learning. AI is taking over everything. Probably should be number one on this list, quite frankly. Yesterday, ChatGPT just happened to be down, and everyone around me was melting down, right? Because it's only been out a little over a year, and it's already become something we can't live without. And just like digital marketing, a lot of the big companies are just trying to figure it out. They're so early in the adoption curve. This is a great time to jump on that train and learn AI skills.
Yeah, this is kind of a dual skill because while you can make a lot of money as with expertise in artificial intelligence or machine learning, this is something that you should kind of just learn. If you're early in your career, it's going to massively affect you anyway. So these are skills that you should have just because it's going to make you marketable in whatever industry, because it's going to touch every single industry. So this is one, this should be number one on our list.
It should be, but we had to make you wait to get here till the end. So 8 high income skills worth learning in 2024. We'll link the blog. Check out zengig.com for all of our blog articles about job search and career advice. And you can review our more than 500 career guides, which go into great detail about all of these professions that we talk about. So check it out for sure. And thanks for joining.
Thanks.